Hey Dennis, congrats on the contract.
Thank
So,
you.
two questions. One, can I get your thoughts on the team losing Chandler Jones to Oakland? And two, what do you think as the pass rush? How can y'all help fill that void? Though more moves will come later. With his absence.
Um, First one's about Chandler. I'm excited for him. I'm happy for him. I remember kind of my first Chandler Jones story. Was the first day the vets were in the building after rookie minicamp. I had sneezed and he said, "God bless you" to me, and I was just amazed that he even said God bless you to just a small undrafted guy, but he's been a tremendous part of my career, teaching me pass rush and the way he does things, his thought process, and then my success in 2020 came because he tore his bicep, and when I came to the locker room after having two sacks and my first, the highest moment of my life was a pretty low one for him. He had just torn his bicep and all that uncertainty, and he was so happy for me, and that was the coolest moment for me. I got goosebumps right now. Just speaks volumes as to the kind of man that Chandler Jones is and the impact he's had on my life. So I'm happy for him to have a new deal. We're gonna miss him dearly in our room, but next man up.
Dennis, going from an undrafted free agent. When you look back at your career, just talk about your perseverance, your dedication, and your hard work, considering you come off some injuries. What does it mean to get this long 3-year contract?
Mm. Um, well, I feel like I have to thank the Bidwell family and Steve Kahn because they kind of took a gamble on me, and there was, it was a long shot. So I had to seize every single opportunity and every moment and every possibility. I had to make the most out of everything because I knew how quickly or how close to it being over it was. So I think that sense of urgency and kind of not necessarily nervousness, but that kind of pressure is kind of what allowed me to have the energy to keep rolling and to keep my motor going.
Hey man, congrats on the new deal.
Thank
Just
you.
wanted to see, how did you celebrate? Did you hit the strobe at all? And also, just how do you feel like you can get back to that 2020, production?
Hmm. Celebrated by doing a, a murder mystery little game with my girlfriend. We solved the case. We cracked the cold case. We solved out. We figured out why the first guy was innocent, and we were able to prove um, that the other guy had done it. So that's how we celebrated. And as far as getting back to production, it's about paying the system and about trusting the process. So I think sacks come in bunches. That's kind of a phrase. So even though production was down last year, I didn't have a single sack. Um, I'm one rep closer to my next sack. So continuing to push through that, to stay consistent, to not panic and try to freak out and try to be a superhero when I do get my plays. I think it's important to execute your role in the defense each and every play, and then good things follow.
Next up, Howard and Kevin.
Hey, Dennis, how much are you looking forward to this off season, knowing you can prepare just to play football rather than rehabbing from an injury?
Mm-hmm.
How much difference is that when you have to spend so much time rehabbing an injury from prior?
It's something I didn't really notice was happening until now. I'm kind of able to breathe. I didn't realize how much I was holding my breath and kind of gritting my teeth through last year. Obviously, I saw the ACL as a huge test for me on, how bad do you want it? How much do you love football? I think an injury really questions that on are you willing to put in the work with that sense of urgency like it is the 2 minute drill of the Super Bowl? Are you able to do that kind of far removed from that kind of pressure when I'm sitting in the training room with Chad Cook and we're just doing TKEs or a simple exercise on the training table. So I took it as a challenge, and I was kind of in a fight or flight mode for that entire year, being able to take a breath. I'm excited to get back to my old self.
Kind of like those same lines. I'm just wondering how healthy did you feel coming back from the ACL injury, and did you feel it kind of hindered you on defense in any way?
No, I don't think the ACL had anything to do with production, if that's what you're hinting at. Um, I felt confident in my knee the whole time. Obviously, um, the further away from the process, you feel better and better, but there wasn't a point that I was on a game field where I felt like there was something wrong with my knee.
Mike Jurecki's up next.
Dennis, what does it say about the organization where they want to retain their own players versus, fans want to, shiny new toy? What does it say about them? They retain you guys.
I think it speaks volumes. Just the amount of trust that they have in me. It means a lot to me that they know who I am, they know what I have to offer, and that they want to keep me around. That means a lot to me.
Tyler's next.
Just with the, getting the deal figured out, what's the plan for the rest of the offseason before things start to get ramped up again?
Train. We're getting prepared for a big year.
Paul Calvisi.
Dennis, what do you think you'll miss the most about Chandler?
I think just his way of being able to lighten the mood and being able to crack jokes and everything. He had such a good balance of, hey, it's time to go, in that sense of urgency, and also we're playing a game. He just had such a good grasp on, having fun but being able to execute your job at a high level, and that rubbed off on everybody.
Howard Balzer.
In terms of the linebacker room now, also aside from Chandler, of course, with Jordan not being back, talk about his impact on the team and your thoughts on now. It's time for the young guys to really step up.
Mm-hmm. Again, Jordan is a great friend and mentor, and I'm happy for him to be up in Minnesota. I'm going to miss him dearly. But you're exactly right. The young guys are ready to step into that role, and I'm excited to see it.
Tyler Drake.
With, when you were speaking about Chandler, do you feel like you need to kind of take that next step and be more of a, the Chandler-esque type of guy in that room now?
I think it's going to be a bunch of people stepping up and filling that order. But in terms of being able to keep guys locked in while having fun, I think that's something that we can all do.
All right, we will wrap it up with Paul Calvisi.
So, Dennis, when you mentioned 2020, I think it was 7 sacks and 93 defensive snaps. Do you go back and study that? What was the key to that? And is it realistic to think, or is it the challenge for you to try and match that again?
I think I have the same question that I'm sure a lot of you have, was that a fluke? And it's something that drives my training right now, and it absolutely, I'm watching that film trying to figure out, did I know what I was doing, or was I just running around and were guys just having plays off while I was out there? But I think it comes back to staying consistent in your work, trusting the technique and my role within the defense every given play, and then the success follows.